Hello everyone, welcome. Today we are going to be looking at a real life case study of this young lady. I'm pretty sure you've seen her go viral all over TikTok. I'm just going to give you all a brief background story of what has happened, and then I'm going to show you all a couple of mistakes that single moms do make, because there's a lot of red flags here that is really something that a lot of single moms fall a victim of, to be honest. And I'm going to point them out in this video, and I'm going to tell you all how to avoid them so we don't make the same mistake. I'm not here to do any shaming or to do any blaming. I feel like since this case has been out, people have taken it in so many directions. Okay, so let me give you all a bit background story. This young lady here, her name is Isis, I believe. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. She's got a YouTube channel, and her whole YouTube channel is all about getting a high value man, being married to one and staying married to one, and looking glammed up and all that level up stuff. So this young lady was a single mother of two. In her previous relationship, she eventually got with a man, a provider man, a man who is earning money, who who's able to provide that luxurious lifestyle that she wanted. She got married to him. On her YouTube video, she talked about how the man had raped her like 4 times. I don't want to use the actual word because I don't know what YouTube would do these days. Every word, everything you say is so sensitive, so I have to be careful. She talked about how the man had raped her 4 times. And then I think the thing that provoked her the most was when she figured out that her kids had also been abused by their own biological father. So before she got married to this provider man, she had 2 kids in her previous marriage. Then she got with this provider man and she had another 2. I think they're both girls. And then the 2 she had previously, I think they're both boys. Correct me if I am wrong. So she's well known due to her YouTube channel. She is a very beautiful young lady. This was the video that she did on her YouTube channel to explain what happened. And you can see that she looks very, unhappy, miserable, shocked, and all that kind of stuff. So I've watched her story, I've looked at her story, I've taken out some points and things that we are going to focus on and things that we're going to look at and explain where she actually went wrong. And I see, like I said, I've seen so many single mothers make the same mistake that she has made, and I really don't want to see anyone make that mistake again. So that's why I'm doing this video. A lot of people on social media have taken this in other directions where the child has been abused. People are so focused on the part where the child got abused. Some people are so focused on the fact that she's been lying this whole bloody time. Okay, but we're going to treat it from all angles. So I'm just going to make sure I have my notes out so I don't forget what I'm going to say in this video. So let's get straight into it. So as you can see by the title that I've got on TikTok here with her, it has it here: trophy wife husband did the unthinkable to their daughters. Is so sad. So a lot of people are actually focused on what the man did to his kids. I'm not here to say whether she's lying or not. That's none of my business. We're just here to learn, look at the red flags, learn from them, and move forward. So one of the things that stood out to me with this young lady when I listened to her story was her idea of the type of man that she wanted. So she was a single mother of 2 kids. She was working, she was also living in a home. She was doing okay. She was doing okay, the basic thing where you have enough to pay your bills, you are living somewhere, you're not living on the streets, and she was doing okay. Now she had a desire to get married, and the type of guy that she wanted, as she specifically said, was that she wanted a man who was high value. Now, what does society call high value? These days on social media, people are saying that any man who's earning 6 figures, any man that is able to provide, is high value. In my humble opinion, I don't agree with that, because if you have 6 figures in your bank account and you are behaving like an animal in society, then you are not high value. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're sexually abusing people, raping people, doing the unthinkable, doing things that I would expect an animal to do, and you're doing it, that is not considered as high value to me. So I don't, that's not my perception of high value, okay? But from the people that she'd been listening to on social media, talking about high value this, high value that, their idea of high value is a man that's earning six figures. And let me just say this, the reason why a lot of ladies in this generation are so obsessed with getting with a man who can be a provider, who's earning high income, is because you don't have it for yourself. Period. If you, as a woman, have six figures in your bank account and you are financially free, you're not going to be so obsessed with getting with a guy who has six figures and who's also financially free, or getting with a guy who can make you retire or not have you go to work every single time. Whatever it is that you're looking for in a partner, that you're so like adamant that that person must have it, is because you don't have it. When you see a guy who's so obsessed with, oh my god, my woman's gotta cook, my woman's gotta know how to cook, if she don't know how to cook, I'm not marrying her, it's because you don't know how to do it. If you know how to do it, it's not going to bother you if the person can or not, because you can do it anyway. So that was one thing, that a mistake that she made, was that what she was looking for, she didn't focus on the other things. Is he someone who loves kids? As a single mom, you need to be with a man that loves kids. Not even love, like kids, okay? Because here's the problem. Generally speaking, men in general don't love children. It's only very few, like 10%, that actually love children. Okay, so most men would rather go child free. If a man is desperate to have a child, it's probably due to legacy, giving his inheritance to someone, or carrying on the last name. That's about it. It has nothing to do with how cute the baby is. It has nothing to do about seeing my little one running around and all that kind of stuff, or grandchildren. Men are not obsessed with grandchildren like the way women are. It's usually about carrying on the name and passing on an inheritance. So, as a single mom, you need to be aware that in general, men don't like children. Okay, so when you want to remarry, it's either you remarry when your kids are grown, and I mean grown, where they don't depend on you financially anymore. They don't even depend on you much to look out for them. They can kind of sort themselves out. That way, you're kind of you're kind of free. Or if you don't want to wait till that time, make sure you get with a guy who likes children already. She didn't look out for that. That was not her priority. Okay, that was not her priority. So that's a number one red flag there. Now, another mistake that I see a lot of single mothers make is that who you listen to is so important. So this lady said that she was inspired by Shira Ray 7. Now, if you don't know who Shira 7 is, she's the sprinkle lady that is currently going viral all over TikTok. I've been listening to that lady 5 years ago. At the time when I was listening to her, she wasn't viral yet. She was strictly just on YouTube, and she wasn't really viral at the time. So all of a sudden, I think she just became viral. She's just gone viral between now and towards the ending of last year. All of a sudden, maybe it's her time to shine now. So she's gone viral. And one of the things that this sprinkle lady stands for is for women not to marry for love, which I agree. Then she also tells young ladies to also go for a man who's got a lot of money. And then she also tells ladies, she's never hid the fact that she's all about gold digging. She's never hide that, okay? She's encouraging young lady to go for older men because she believes that older men can give you the lifestyle that you're looking for. I don't really agree with that. So basically, Shira Ray 7, she's the type of woman who is encouraging women to gold dig, okay? Encouraging women not to marry for love, marry for security, marry because it makes sense to do so, but no, don't marry because, oh my God, you have this feeling that you loved him. And that was why she listened to her advice, but she did not take it with a grain of salt. So whoever it is that you're listening to, you need to apply wisdom before you follow everything they say. Because here's the thing, okay? Shira 7 encourages women to marry or date older men because they're able to give you that lifestyle that you want, that being that full-time housewife, not having to go to work, not having to worry about any bill. Now, I believe that advice is not suitable for everyone, because people like me, I cannot get married to somebody that is like, that does not even look decent enough for me to kiss or to be in bed with. I just can't do it. I can't be in bed with a guy that's old enough to be my dad, old enough to be my grandpa. It's just not going to work. I don't care if he has 1.5 million in his bank account. I just can't get, I cannot get past the looks. I can't get past it. So that advice, I wouldn't take it. Okay. She is right that they can provide that lifestyle of security. But what she's not telling you is those type of men are smart and they have connections. Okay. They have connections and they are going to be way smarter than you because they've been in this game way longer than you are. So you, as a young lady who don't have connections to people at the top, who's new to this whole thing, you're going to be at loss with this type of man. Okay, so it's important that whoever you're listening to regarding financial advice, you need to sit down and ask yourself, is this reasonable? The wisdom behind it is, a man in his 30s or 20s, if you get married to a man in his 20s or 30s, he obviously cannot retire you, and you cannot expect that kind of dude to pay every single bill in the house, because he's currently building his own empire at that time. So you can't expect him to do that, unless if he's already a celebrity, then that's possible. But for somebody who's constantly trying to build his empire, trying to get his life together, trying to, make sure he has something in his old age, he's not going to provide you that lifestyle where you can just retire at a very young age. Okay. But at the same time, I don't encourage being with such an older man because you're trying to be financially free. Why don't you be financially free for yourself, first of all? That's really my problem, is the fact that there's so much preaching going on about being with a man who earns six figure, be with a man who can retire you, and be with a man who can provide everything. But why are we not emphasizing on women earning more, women being responsible for their own financial life, women trying to strive for financial freedom? That's really my focus, and that's what I would love people to talk more on. But unfortunately, that's not really the case. Now, another red flag that I picked up in this case was that she met the man through online dating. I've never really been a fan of online dating, just because these days there's too many fake people moving about. Too many fake people. And not only that, I honestly feel like it's easier to vet people out when you meet them face to face. Obviously, she met the man face to face, but where they met, as a single mom, I don't encourage online dating. I just don't. I don't think anyone takes anybody seriously with online dating. It's so easy to fake it. It's so easy to be manipulative because, again, it's just online. Okay, I don't really encourage it. Another red flag that I had there was that when she went on the first date with him, which this is something I hear a lot with young ladies, and I think I was so close to fall a victim of this myself. When she was on the first date with this guy, she said she felt like she knew this guy. You see, the problem with this statement is this statement where you feel like you felt like you knew the guy. That statement is your emotions being in control and not your logical, and not the logical part of you. Remember, women are emotionally driven, men are logically driven. On the first date, you're not related, you've never seen the man, you've never heard of him, you've never seen him on the TV. So how can you feel like you've known him all your life? Because that's the statement she said when she sat in front of him, and she followed that feeling through. I've been in this situation where I've seen a guy and I felt like, oh my God, I felt like I knew him. I felt like I just knew him. But guess what? The guy was married. The guy was married. So clearly those feelings are wrong. When it comes to this department of looking for the right partner, as a woman, this is why as women, women, when you tell a woman to pick a man for herself, she always tends to pick the wrong one, because emotions is what she puts at the front. She doesn't really put logic at the front. It's emotions that she puts at the front. But when you tell a dude to pick a wife that he could marry, he would always put logic at the front. Always put logic at the front. So this is why it's important to be very, very logical. You feel like you've known him, you feel like you've known him all your life. Do your kids feel the same way? Does he feel the same way? He can't definitely feel that same way, okay? Because men are just too logical to feel that same way. So whenever you find yourself in that situation, that's not a sign that he's the one. That's your emotions sitting at the front. That's you putting your emotions at the front and putting logic at the back, which is wrong. Okay, in the first date, you cannot meet someone on the first day and feel like, oh my gosh, this is the one. Okay, it's possible if you have a relationship with God and you can hear the voice of the Holy Spirit. But if you're not spiritual and you cannot hear the voice of God or anything like that, do not follow that emotion. That can be very, very deceiving. The next red flag that I saw in this video was that when she got out of her previous relationship before she married this man, she was stranded, in the sense that she didn't have a place to live. Now, all what I'm saying is what she said in the video. I'm not making this up. I'm not reading what people are saying. It's what she said in this specific video that I have here on the screen from TikTok. Okay, it's what she had said when she talked about meeting him, because she goes in details explaining how she met the man. Now, when she got out of the previous relationship, she was stranded in the sense that she didn't have a place to live. And so because she was dating this man, her so-called husband or ex-husband by now, he then said, yeah, you can come stay in my place with the kids. So this is why I go back to women being financially free, and for you to thrive in having a high income for yourself. Because as a single mom, the reason why there's a lot of single moms, the first child is a mistake, cool. But if you are not smart and you don't get logical and you don't learn to be financially free, you will end up with 2 kids with 2 different men, all under the age of 30. I've seen some single moms, 4 kids, 4 different dads under the age of 30. Because you're not thinking about financial freedom for yourself. She was stranded is what got her living with that man, with those kids. If she had an income of her own, or she had a property elsewhere, she wouldn't be in that vulnerable situation. She would have just gone back home to her own house. And whenever you come out of a relationship, please take time to heal before you get into another one. Don't just jump into another one as a single mom because you've got kids in your life. Don't just be quick to go into another one again. You've got to sit back and heal and work through it. Where did I go wrong? What could I have done better? Okay, he might be a lunatic, but what did I do wrong? How can I avoid meeting this type of person? If she had taken the time, there's no way she could have taken time to vet this man, because she was already in a vulnerable state of homelessness. So she had no time to vet this guy. She just thought, oh, you know what, this guy's the angel. This is probably the man the Lord sent in my way, because I mean, look at it. Just when I'm in this situation, this guy is available. So clearly this is a sign. That's probably how she was seeing it. But now, I mean, look at how things have turned. Apparently it wasn't. Okay? As single mothers, we have to make sure that we don't put ourselves in vulnerable situations. Listen, I have put myself in vulnerable situation when it comes to my finances in the past, and it is terrible. It is terrible to put yourself in that. We should never ever put ourselves in a vulnerable situation. And as single moms, we should always be prepared that emergency or anything can go wrong anywhere, any day, any time. Never ever have this mindset that I can rely on this person to come through, because they might not come through for you. And if they don't, what are you going to do? Okay, so being in a vulnerable situation didn't allow her to vet the guy out so much. And what caused that vulnerability? Finances. If she had properties and she was earning the six figure for herself, she wouldn't have needed to stay in that guy's house to begin with. Another red flag that I noticed in this here is that she bought a ring for the man first before the man even bought the ring for her. Now, she had mentioned how the man was calling her my wife before they even got legally married, which is a way of a man letting you know, it's a way of a man setting high expectations for you and seeing what you're going to do when he mentions that word to you. So she said she bought him a ring first, which is giving pick me behavior. Okay, what is pick me behavior? Pick me behavior is a woman who is desperate to get with a man, and she does every little thing to make sure that the man seals the deal, as in lock the relationship in, marry her. But she will do everything to prove herself worthy for that man. Basically, constantly trying to prove to the man that I'm the one that you should be with, I'm the one that you should marry, I'm the one you should care about, I'm the one that's there for you. That was a big red flag, big, huge red flag. For her to go out and buy the ring for him, and he hasn't bought you a ring yet, he hasn't proposed to you yet, you don't know if your kids like him, you don't know if he likes kids, you don't know if he's been previously married before, nothing. You just didn't vet the guy out enough. And this is a situation that a lot of single mothers have. The consequences now, oh yeah, then she talked about how the man had then abused the two biological children that she had for him. The consequences of marrying the wrong man as a single mom is that it doesn't just affect you, but it affects your children as well. A man that does not like you cannot like your children. It's impossible. He cannot like your children. So if you've accidentally married a man who's pretended to like you, and then while you're married to him, you've realized he don't like you, I promise you he won't like your kids. And your kids will feel it and see it before you even see it. And another consequence is for single mothers marrying the wrong man is you're going to end up having more children for different men. And this is where it becomes a bit embarrassing and sometimes shameful, depending on where you're living and the culture where you're living. In some cultures, for a woman to have children outside wedlock is already shame. Then to have 2 or 3, 4 kids for 2 to 3 different dads is also shameful. It's just too much luggage as a woman. We need to reduce the luggage in our lives. You can't keep carrying different kids for different men in your life. It's just too much. So in order to avoid all the extra luggage, we have to be careful and carefully vet the man out. What are the ways that you can vet a man out? First of all, having a relationship with God. Why? Because having a relationship with God will give you that discernment to be able to vet somebody out. Discernment is key, and it's only with God that discernment is going to be accurate. There's something, you're going to see a red flag before you get with somebody. I promise you this. You're going to see it. But the problem with people in this generation, because you're so selfish and you just want what you want, you walk into the red flag, then you walk back out expecting the whole world to feel sorry for you. Do you understand? So relationship with God will give you discernment to be able to vet the person out. Another one is a male figure in your family. A male figure that, any male figure you have in your family that has your best interest at heart can help you vet a man out, because men know men. They've been men all their life. So they'll be able to vet the person out. And another way also is also through prayers as well. Okay, so this is a very unfortunate situation, and you know what, for her to come out and to even let you guys know her mistakes, the thing that pissed me off and got me annoyed is after she talked about the man raping her like 4 times. She has videos on her channel talking about setting boundaries and how to get a man to spoil you and how to get all this stuff while you weren't even treated as a trophy in the household. The lies. Let me tell you all something. Any woman that is making her relationship or marriage as content on social media, please do not take advice from such women. Period. I don't care how loving they look. I don't care how beautiful they look together. I don't care whether even God put them together. Any woman or any man that has decided to make their relationship or marriage as content on social media, monetize it on social media, make it as content on social media, turn it into entertainment on social media, do not take relationship advice from such people, because people will do anything and say anything to get the bills paid. That's how it is. Some people, their marriage and relationship is content because that's how they get money to pay bills. So please do not take advice from such person. You cannot trust such people. How many relationship social media couples have you followed, and how many have been destroyed? And then when you hear the story, you're like, oh my gosh, you guys went through all of that and you were still doing content. Some of us even know that the relationship was about to crumble anyway, but you didn't even know the in and outs before it got to that point. It's really disappointing that as much as she got raped a couple of times, you still sat there to talk about how to get the guy to spoil you, how to set boundaries, how to how to be beautiful, how to be high value, how to attract all of that, and you're suffering. Why are you putting yourself through all of that? Anyway, that is it for this video for me. Now, this lady is currently in a very terrible situation financially. She has a GoFundMe account. Please donate some money to her. We all make mistakes. Me sitting down here, I'm not perfect. I've made my own mistakes. I also will be donating to her as well, because this is Christmas season, and the kids also, I hate when Christmas is coming up and the kids don't get to enjoy Christmas. I really, really hate it. So please try as much as you can to donate some money to her for her GoFundMe. Like I said before, she's made a mistake, but we also apply grace. So that is it for me in this live video, and yeah, hopefully things will get better for her in the future. It's just sad to see how everyone's blaming her, and everyone's it's gotten to a point where the family members have gotten involved on social media, in-laws have gotten involved in social media. The reason why I'm not paying attention to all that part is because whenever a woman talks on social media about something that a guy did to her, a whole group of women find a way to blame her. A whole group of women will find a way to dismiss what you're saying. This has happened since God knows how long, where women just don't support women, or women just don't get enough support system. Whether her story is true or not, only God can judge. But I've done my part, and hopefully you don't become a victim of what she became a victim of. So I'll see you all next time. Bye.